According to new reports, Marvel Studios is working on developing a Secret Invasion type story for a Disney Plus series. Word. We have got to break this down. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Do me a favor and smash that like button like the Super Scroll, and let's get right into this. Oh, I guess real quick, reminder, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're doing another community stream on the Den of Nerds Live. These are streams where different people that are just fans can come on to the stream, literally come on, have their voice be heard, and we talk as a fan community about different issues. Tonight's stream is all about if fandom has too much power in the modern era, and I think it's going to be a good time. Okay, so friend of the channel, what's a channel? Okay, so friend of the channel, Jeremy Conrad. Oh my god. Okay, so friend of the channel, Jeremy Conrad, over at MCU Cosmic, did a sweet little article late last night talking about this scoop. The scoop originates from Daniel Rickman, who is another one of these insiders, one of these Marvel scoopers. He talked about this on his Patreon. Now, let's read right from Jeremy's article over on MCU Cosmic, and then we'll break down what it means. There have been long-running rumors that Marvel is working on some kind of cosmic series for Disney Plus, and now we might know what it is. According to Daniel Rickman via his Patreon, there is indeed a Secret Invasion style series in the works that will lead directly into Captain Marvel 2. It's said to involve the Kree and the Skrulls, as well as Sword, which will be introduced in WandaVision. This is only speculation, but such a series could be a great place to introduce a character such as Nova, who is destined for the MCU and is likely going to get his own movie in the future. Woo! Baby, that's some hot, spicy news coming at you on your Marvel Monday, but let's get right into what this actually means. This fits quite nicely among rumors that were suggesting that Secret Invasion was going to be the story covered in Captain Marvel 2. Oh, and real quick for the rumor, all of those Rogue stories, not real. Rogue, if she ends up being in Captain Marvel 2, total coincidence. All those reports, not real. Now, I love that idea. I love the idea of Secret Invasion being a part of Captain Marvel 2, and I really like the idea of Disney Plus series going right into the MCU movies. I'm really excited for WandaVision, and that's partially because I want to see how it leads right into Doctor Strange to the Multiverse of Madness. I think that's going to be awesome. Now, I will admit to you, when I first heard about this story, I was a little bit bummed. I was like, wait a minute. They're doing Secret Invasion as a Disney Plus show? That's not good enough to me. For me, I think Secret Invasion is one of the best Marvel stories ever told, and it needs scope. I think it deserves a movie. However, if it's a show and a movie, that is literally perfect. It gives it the time to breathe, and it will set it up perfectly to be this big epic thing that will exist on the silver screen and on Disney Plus. I really like where this is going. As many of you know, if you've been following the channel for a while, I wasn't the biggest fan of Captain Marvel #1, but not for many of the reasons other people didn't like Captain Marvel. I got hung up on the good guy Skrulls. And a big reason for that was because I was like, no, you're ruining Secret Invasion, one of my favorite Marvel stories. We need the Skrulls to be villainous in order to make Secret Invasion work properly. And I've slightly gotten over this over time. I actually think Captain Marvel is a way better movie than most people give it credit for. It's a fun little ride, and I'm slowly getting past the whole Ben Mendelsohn good guy Skrull thing. And in fact, folks, the more I think about it, the more having good guy Skrulls and bad guy Skrulls and the Kree all involved with Secret Invasion could actually give it a lot of different layers. They could take some of the best parts of Secret Invasion from the comics, of course, like, you know, Who's the Skrull? That game, super fun. You're gonna love playing Who's the Skrull at home. But they can add in new dimensions, new layers to it, and this could actually be really interesting. So the MCU interpretation of Secret Invasion, having good Skrulls, bad Skrulls, Sword, and the Kree, it could actually make for a much more dynamic story than even the comic book counterpart. We also know, as Jeremy points out in his article, that Sword is going to be a big deal in Phase 4 and beyond. There are a lot of rumors suggesting that Sword is going to be introduced in WandaVision. It's going to have some ties to the Wiccan character, and it does appear that the post-credit scene from Spider-Man Far From Home was setting up Sword in some way. Also, as Jeremy mentions, there were a bunch of rumblings that a cosmic type of show was going to be developed for Disney Disney Plus by Marvel Studios. And we do know that Bob Iger talked about 7 different shows for Marvel Studios that are in development for Disney Plus. And there are only a couple that we didn't know what they were going to be. And this Secret Invasion type show would fit not only the bill of the rumors of the Cosmic Show, but it would fill one of those slots that Bob Iger referred to. So that is basically the news and the report, folks. The Secret Invasion story might be doing a part 1, part 2, much like WandaVision and Doctor Strange 2 are doing, and you might see that set up on Disney Plus in a series, which will involve Sword, Kree, and Skrull and the beginning of Secret Invasion, and then likely the Secret Invasion will actually get to Earth, and then we'll see that story take place in Captain Marvel 2. But we're not done yet, folks. Take my hand. Let's go to Speculation Town. Now, immediately, my head sort of went to, like, if it's really going to be cosmic and it's going to be involving Sword, imagine Secret Invasion sort of starting out in space. And I was really thinking of, like, this weird hybrid story of, like, Alien 1, where they're on, like, a space station and it's all kind of confined to a space station. A version of Secret Invasion with, I don't want to say, like, B-level characters, but kind of like B-level characters like Maria Hill, maybe Sam Jackson as Nick Fury, but, like, some smaller level characters out involved with Sword, possibly even Hulkling, or if Monica Rambeau ends up being out there, you sort of have an opportunity to do that kind of a story where they are watching the Secret Invasion come and take place. The Kree and the Skrull War can sort of creep over top of all of that, and it can be done in sort of a science fiction way. Because that's just the way I see it. Like, the way I speculate about this is it would start out in space and then slowly come to the planet. And I really hope that, of course, it does come to Earth, because the joy of Secret Invasion, the joy of that story, is watching all this weird stuff happen on Earth and not really knowing, like, hey, is this person a Skrull or not? There's this part where, like, Tony Stark loses his mind because he starts to think maybe he's a Skrull. It's awesome. It really picks apart the characters, deconstructs their relationships. All sorts of really cool stuff happens with the Secret Invasion story, which would be awesome to see in Captain Marvel 2. Because Captain Marvel 2 should be an ensemble film. It should be like a big Avengers type movie, because I just think they're going to personally need it, because although Captain Marvel made $1 billion, it's looked at as one of the not better properties in the MCU, and a lot of people still have a problem with Brie Larson. There were all these rumors that they wanted Spider-Man to be a part of the next Captain Marvel movie, and that's really just to kind of get some of the goodwill from Tom Holland over on Brie Larson. So that'd be really cool. I'd be pumped to see that. I really do look forward to that as like a 1-2 punch, and being set up in Captain Marvel 2 would be really awesome. It's also really cool that we'll have access to the Super Skrull, man. Like, we will have access to the Super Skrull, which we didn't have access before because it was owned by Fox, right? Fox had the Fantastic Four. The Super Skrull is a Skrull that has all the powers of the Fantastic Four. Weren't able to do that before. Now we can. So we can potentially get Super Skrull over here in this MCU stuff. And also, and if you thought you were getting out of this video without a Dark Avengers mention, you're wrong, because as most Marvel comic book fans will tell you, one of the craziest parts of Secret Invasion is the ending, in which Norman Osborn kills the Skrull Queen. And that what that does, guys, is that sets him up to be the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. The world looks at Norman Osborn as a hero and sort of looks down at the Avengers and looks down at Tony Stark, okay? So the end of Secret Invasion sets up the beginning of Hammer, of Siege, and of Dark Avengers. So you can clearly see where my head is at. They can perfectly set that up to be happening in the MCU as well, because as I continue to tell you guys, Dark Avengers is coming, baby. That is gonna happen. And last, teensy little thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about with regards to this speculation is, you will remember, if you've been watching the channel for a while, I told you guys way before any of this stuff was announced that the perfect setup for 2022 would be Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, right into an Avengers movie. That is a perfect scenario for 2022. Ride off of the backs of your billion-dollar franchises with your new Avengers characters, and then set up a new Avengers movie. And if they do that and Secret Invasion sets up Dark Avengers, my brain will literally explode. We will have to find a new host for the Den of Nerds because my brain will explode all over the people in the theater. It will be literally the perfect scenario for me. Please let it happen, Feige! I'm like literally almost out of breath from that trip to Speculation Town, but let me know what you think about that speculation or the report in the comments section below. And now let's shout out Ezekiel Cologne. Indeed, the Chiss Higher Ascendancy refers to their young Force-sensitive children as Skywalkers. That's right, they stole the Skywalker name way before Rey did, so shout out to you, Ezekiel. And now let's ask another nerd card question before we get out of here. I want to know, what weird statement did the scrolls from Secret Invasion in the comic books make to different people before they killed them very coldly? It was like a really weird thing that they were saying. Let me know if you remember what the scrolls were saying in the Secret Invasion comic book in the comments section below. As I always say, hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.